in a way, this is the long goodbye, and I know for Daniel and Rupert and Emma, there was a good weep on that final day, and I think it was 12th of June 2010 as the official final day, and I don't know for you whether it was that kind of emotional or whether you'd already adjusted your set to deal with it.
It was very emotional. Equally, I was quite keen to not think about it too much, and I kind of shook everyone's hand on the final day and got in the car and left before I had a chance for it to get too emotional, but yeah, the more I think about it, the easier I could weep. But saying that, I don't really think it's come to an end just yet. We've got a while before we have to say goodbye to the franchise just yet.
Well, you didn't go to a private place and have a weep, because I know you're a proper man, so you didn't let the others see.
I got in the car and blubbed the whole way. No, I mean, it hasn't hit me yet, to be fair. I'm sure it will. I know Rupert and Daniel were showed a sort of 15-minute video of their childhood so far, so I can imagine why that was rather emotive.
Well, I was thinking it is pretty much for all of you who've been right through that all the films would be like saying goodbye to a surrogate family eventually, and that. But I would think also there's a sort of a weight lifted, like your school's out now, that you've sort of finished your kind of, your 10 years of schooling in Potterland. And,
yeah. No, it's a mixture, a real mixture of emotions. I mean, it's quite liberating in a way, not knowing what's happening next, and to think we can go and do whatever we want at the same time. Yeah, it is that whole finishing school kind of experience. Equally, it's a very scary time leaving school, because you're used to having that day-to-day structure, and you're settled quite in a routine, and it was quite hard. It's quite hard to get your head around the fact that routine's gone forever now. But yeah, it's a real mixture of emotion. We're very sad to see it go, but equally we're excited for the future.
I know that originally the plan was 250-day shoot, but it turned out to be 478 as it sort of stretched, and I don't know whether that was a kind of you got a little bit, like a long journey, or whether it always felt good just to be still doing what you love doing.
Yeah, I mean, I was very lucky that I sort of took, I was in, weeks out, so I was never there for a sort of 6-month stretch solidly, as I know, Daniel was obviously there for the whole thing, so I can understand why it was a little more wearing on a few more people, certainly. Yeah, I enjoyed every minute. I was very lucky that I was sort of brought in as and when I was needed, so yeah, I had a great time.
I know the main cast with Lord of the Rings, when they'd finally finished their shoot, they sort of felt like they needed some sort of bonding experience, so they all got tattoos.
I suggested this to the whole of the cast. I said, look, they've had the zeros, or the ring tattooed on their ankles, I believe it was.
Yeah, I think it's Elvish for 9 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And they were only together for what, 3 years? And I thought, come on, we've been together for 10. We've got to go a stage up and get, I don't know, a Slytherin crest or a Gryffindor crest on your shoulder.
I'm sure a lick-on would be fine for
well, that's what we ended up going for. Yeah. Everyone kind of wimped out by the end of it, so there were no lightning bolts on anyone's forehead just yet.
And would there be already the sense of staying in touch? Because it will be strange to be away from people that you were so used to seeing every year for huge chunks of your life. I don't know whether you'd almost sort of already be saying, well, we must meet up again, we must do this, we must do that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's far from just being the cast. It's obviously there's a 200, 300 strong crew, so a lot of those people now we've become very good friends with over the years. So yeah, I mean, it's more than a desire to stay in touch, more of a compulsion, really. I think we have to. It would be such a shame to see so many friendships go to waste, and we've already planned several events for years to come, so we'll all stay in touch.
Oh, and the great thing is, you need never get in touch with the Egypts that were involved. Anybody you didn't like, it's over now, so you'll be relieved.
See you later. I hadn't thought about that. There you go. That's a positive spin on it.
And there must be a part of you too when all this is, when the 2 films are released and all the promotion is done and it's finally put to bed. I'm sure there's a part of your brain thinking, I really would like nobody maybe to mention Harry Potter for maybe a year of my life, so I could just feel it's not every single day I've got to sort of deal with the fact that I was Draco.
Well, again, I'm very lucky that as much as it has been a huge part of my life, it's not all and everything. I've been lucky enough to sort of have time to go and do other things. Whether it's my school as a child, I never quit the secondary school that I was in, which was very beneficial for me, and I've had a chance to do other things that I enjoy, such as music and sports and other things like that. So I really don't mind when anyone does talk to me about it. I'm always open, and 99.9% of the time I'm more than happy to talk about it. I'm far from bored of it just yet. I mean, you can bear in mind as well, I'm a huge fan, so as a fan talking to another fan, it's very easy to start talking about and getting very excited about something.
Well, though you did go through as Harry and all the characters in Draco went through their kind of crucial development years as into like a sort of young adulthood. Sure. And the fact that you spent those years, in a huge, the most successful movie franchise in the history of movies. I don't know whether that was, you know, that compensated for any kind of possible sort of lack of having an ordinary life. I'm sure that the wealth and the fame and the glory was probably enough of a balance to just not be going to school in a normal town on a normal day.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say not particularly those three things that you've listed there, but certainly the education side of things, and I mean that talking to people and learning different walks of life. Obviously, yeah, we missed out on school trips and skiing holidays here and loads of things that friends, you know, normally typically do my age. Yeah, you miss out on those things, and it is upsetting, especially at that age. That's all you care about is the Friday night party or whatever's happening amongst your local group. But saying that, yeah, it's been certainly weighed out by the fact of the experiences that I've had and the people and the friends that I've met along the way. I certainly wouldn't put a price on your childhood. I don't think that's even manageable. But for the experience alone, then it's definitely been worthwhile.
I got to wrap up, but I know Daniel joked just recently that who knows, maybe in 30 years' time we'll all be there playing the teachers in some sort of remake.
Yeah.
But would that be something you could consider?
Good call. I quite like it. Yeah, I could see Daniel could do Snape, and maybe I could do Dumbledore. For a few years off that, but it'd be nice to flip it around like that. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, maybe one day. We'll see.
Rock and roll. I'll be giving the friendly finger. Lovely to talk to you again, man. Yeah.
Real pleasure.
I spoke to you